public investments where it's just government resources that are being utilized, or even in public-private partnership investments, Honorable Speaker, the people of Kenya derive maximum value. And these regulations, Honorable Speaker, are very timely. Kenyans, and indeed members of this House will recall that our country has not been able to implement a number of PPP projects. And the first rather successful PPP project, Honorable Speaker, that we can see is the Nairobi Expressway. But the manner in which the expressway, Honorable Speaker, was contracted and carried out leaves a lot of questions in our minds and in minds of Kenyans, Honorable Speaker. It is good to have such a beautiful project that is enhancing mobility across the city between Mlolongo and ABC Westlands, Honorable Speaker. And this project, Honorable Speaker, was billed as a PPP project, and I remember us being told that there will be no public funds that will go into this project, Honorable Speaker. But details coming, Honorable Speaker, of the level of public investment in that project are astounding to Kenyans, Honorable Speaker. Members will be shocked of the kind of tax exemptions that were extended to the contractor and the investor in that project, be it in VAT, be it in import duty, Honorable Speaker. You'll be shocked, Honorable Speaker, that such an investment, Honorable Speaker, Kenyans are still not able to tell how much is a contractor collecting on a daily basis. Honorable Speaker, all these members will tell you that to use that expressway, you can only pay in cash. You can't even use M-Pesa, because somebody doesn't want to be accountable to the people of Kenya. Somebody doesn't want the people of Kenya to know how many people are using this facility, how much money are they collecting. Honorable Speaker, the Hustler Fund that was launched just the other day, people are able to access the Hustler Fund by registering. And Honorable Speaker, the last time I checked, the day before yesterday, this Hustler Fund had over 12 million Kenyans who had registered. And you can track even transactions per second. In this day and age, Honorable Speaker, for an investor to tell us that they cannot allow us to track how many vehicles, not transactions per second, how many vehicles are using that superhighway or that expressway, Honorable Speaker, leaves a lot to be desired. And therefore imperative, Honorable Speaker, that we pass these regulations to ensure that even in public-private partnership agreements like this one of the expressway, Honorable Speaker, there is actual transparency and accountability as to what is going on in terms of the public investment that is being made, Honorable Speaker. You remember, Honorable Speaker, and we have seen that throughout the negotiation of that expressway, Honorable Speaker, the lower deck of Mombasa Road, right from ABC to Mlolongo, Honorable Speaker, in all the negotiations for that contract, it is minuted that the contractor was to do the upper deck and restore the lower deck to either an equal or better standard than the upper deck. But shockingly, Honorable Speaker, because of the absence of such regulations, at the last minute of signing of the contract, that particular clause was dropped. And you'll be shocked, Honorable Speaker, that a week after the elections, somebody was pushing the Kenha management to award another contract of 9 billion shillings to do the lower deck, Honorable Speaker, giving it to the same contractor without following any procurement process, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, these regulations are indeed very timely, because it is the absence of such regulations that have made public officers capture the state and ensure people are only implementing projects that are not viable to the country, but are viable for their own personal interest, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, I want to urge this House, Honorable Speaker, to support the passage of these regulations, because they will now create a very clear framework that will ensure that you indeed consider even the feasibility of a project before implementation, Honorable Speaker. And I want to challenge, Honorable Speaker, the chair of the Transport Committee. I don't know if he's in the House, Honorable G.K. Kariuki. and the members of the Transport Committee, and even the Finance Committee, in so much as even this expressway project has been completed, Honorable Speaker, we must get to the bottom of it, Honorable Speaker. We must know, why is it that we cannot pay by M-Pesa? Why is it that we can't have an efficient and accountable system where we are able to know how much money is this contractor paying? The Finance Committee needs to check the tax exemptions that were extended to that contractor, whether they were in line with our Constitution and with our laws. They must also check, Honorable Speaker, whether the money you are paying, the contractor is paying due taxes on that money. Because, and I see the financial is behind me, Honorable Speaker, there are things that they must look into, check whether VAT and other taxes are being paid on the money Kenyans are paying for use of that road, Honorable Speaker. With those very many remarks, Honorable Speaker, may I beg that we join the chair of the Delegated Legislation Committee to pass these very important regulations for the sake of our country and the sake of public investment, Honorable Speaker, and ensuring that we safeguard what we are sent here to safeguard, the taxes and the resources of the people of Kenya. With that, I beg to support.
Thank you. The Honorable Charles Onchoke, member for Bonchari.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I rise to support these regulations. It's good practice that we're able to define and specify a project as opposed to adopting a general approach that becomes very expensive, it becomes cumbersome, it becomes a problem to the entire nation. And you have seen resources misapplied and not used properly for the purposes intended because of lack of this specificity. It's also gratifying to know that it provides for the definition of the objectives, the outputs, and the outcomes so that we know from the get-go what is intended to be achieved out of each of these projects that the government is undertaking. It's also a good thing to see that responsibilities are assigned so that we can hold those to whom the responsibilities have been assigned accountable at every stage of the project implementation. Madam Speaker, we want from the word go to know how much money has been appropriated for the project, so that what we are witnessing in the past, in the absence of regulations, is that a lot of projects are started and somewhere along the way they are abandoned because of lack of adequate budget. So that we have projects that are conceived, are implemented to completion, and serve the Kenyans and deliver the service that the Kenyans want or need. The monitoring and evaluation, Madam Speaker, is a good item that has been introduced in the regulations so that it's possible to monitor and evaluate the effectiveness of the project, how it's progressing, where we're going wrong, so that any mistakes, any problems are captured at the right time and corrections made. Equally, Madam Speaker, it will be important that in undertaking projects, that those who have the responsibility, particularly in drawing contracts, that they do them faithfully. The wastage we have seen in the past is because some of the contracts are drawn in a skewed manner. They are sloppy contracts that are punitive to the country, that benefit those who draw them. With those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I support the approval of these regulations. Thank you.
The Honorable Agnes Pareyo, member